Hey everybody, I want to give you a quick heads up on how the user interface of Tooll is working, especially when working in full screen. So we are pushing this to dev, and it might have some side effects, but it might also add a lot of benefits. So yeah, we are working on that, and it might introduce some side effects, some regressions on dev. So we are still testing this, but nevertheless, I just want to show you quickly what this can do. So the idea is that we work how to or completely rethink how to work in full screen. So no panels, but just I'm pressing F4 and then Shift Escape to hide everything. And this is basically one way you can now work with Tooll. And then the idea is that we have an output here. This is pinned, and then on the left side, if I move the mouse cursor here, we focus on the graph. On the right side, we focus on the content. And then the idea is that if you go to the far right and click once, then you can actually focus on the background. So now the focus is, you can move the camera and so on. And if you go further back to the far right, click once, now the foreground is focused again. And you wonder, okay, why would we ever do this? The reason for that is that we also completely changed how the pop-up parameter view is working, which means that if we take this guy here, for instance, and lock this, so for instance, it might make sense to look at, okay, how's the output, how's the input, but now you can actually click once and then also get like all the like all the presets and also the documentation for everything. And then of course you can record like the example operators and stuff like that. And so this will work for everything. So you can basically go through graph and read the documentation and see what does this thing do. But you can still go in here and, for instance, like drag stuff live. And you can also still go, for instance, like take the camera and then basically move the camera around and use ASDF to fly around while you're holding this. And then you can go back and basically focus on the graph. And since we reworked how this parameter pop-up works, you can still do things like, for instance, you could say, okay, maybe I want to have an detect edges. You can just press tab once, detect edges, boom, there you go, detect edges. And we also added this little shortcut that, for instance, here we take the strength. Normally, if you press here, you would add an animation, and yes, the tooltip here is still wrong. But now actually we changed this to, if you click once you get search, which means you can do things like animate value and then maybe like a sine wave here. And this also works with multiple things. So we can, for instance, say, okay, maybe we want to add like a sample gradient here, and then this will put the sample gradient nicely on top of that. So, and then of course you probably want to have the sample position, I guess, is another like animated value or so. And I think this will be huge, because it will suddenly allow you to work full screen with your content in a one-to-one resolution. And for me, this also adds the whole possibility of like really getting into the flow and not being distracted by UI elements. There are still plenty of glitches, I guess. So if you find anything, let me know. If you find any more improvements, let me know. One thing I already discovered is that besides having these guys, it's probably nice to have a bunch of tools, for instance, like to maybe bypass or maybe add this as a pinned output or something. But yeah, I think already this this was a nice workout session we had on Friday. Yeah, let me know what you think. And much more important, let me know if you find anything that needs fixing before we push this into the master branch for the next version of Tooll. Bye.